The screen lights up without asking. The number is there before the day has finished deciding what it will be. There is a moment when looking feels optional, and that moment stretches. It stretches through the kitchen, through the quiet of a morning that has not yet chosen its direction. The phone stays face down. The laptop lid remains closed. The balance waits in a place that feels slightly warmer than the rest of the day. This isn't the first time the number has waited. It has learned how to wait. It knows the habits. It knows the hours when it is most likely to be seen, and the hours when it will be ignored in favor of something else that feels less exact. Coffee is poured. The sound is familiar enough to cover the silence. The cup is held with two hands, not because it is hot, but because there is nothing else to do with them yet. Outside, something moves past the window. It doesn't matter what. The day fills itself with small tasks that don't require totals. Messages are answered without opening apps that show more than words. Tabs are chosen carefully. A browser remembers things that shouldn't be remembered, so it is closed and reopened just in case. There is a sense that the number could shift if it isn't looked at. Not in reality, but in feeling. As long as it remains unseen, it is flexible. It can still be higher. It can still be manageable. It can still be something other than what it already is. The balance exists as a shape, not a figure. It has weight without mass. It sits somewhere behind the eyes, occupying space that used to be reserved for other thoughts. When attention drifts toward it, something else is found to focus on instead. A dish that wasn't washed. An email that doesn't need to be answered right now, but could be. Time passes without being counted. Morning becomes later morning. The light changes slightly, and the room adjusts. The phone buzzes once and is ignored. It buzzes again and is turned face down more firmly this time, as if pressure might keep it quiet. Avoiding is not dramatic. It doesn't announce itself. It looks like normal behavior from the outside. From the inside, it feels like moving furniture in front of a door that opens inward. There have been other days like this. They blur together. Days where the balance is postponed until evening, and evenings where it is postponed until tomorrow. Each delay feels small enough to justify itself. Together they form something like a pattern, though it doesn't present itself all at once. Lunch happens without appetite. Food is eaten because it is there, not because it is needed. The taste is noted only in passing. A receipt is folded and put in a pocket without being checked. Numbers appear everywhere, but none of them are the right ones. The account balance is not chasing. It doesn't need to. It waits in a stable place, updated whether it is observed or not. It changes quietly, without asking for permission. By the time it is finally seen, it will already be old information. There is a brief moment, sometime in the afternoon, when the thought comes close enough to touch. The phone is picked up. The thumb hovers where the app usually is. Muscle memory knows the path. It has walked it many times before. The thumb stops. The phone is set down again. Something else is opened instead. News. Weather. Anything that does not add things up. The relief is immediate and shallow. It doesn't last long, but it is enough to get through the next few minutes. Enough to move on. Enough to forget, briefly, that there was something waiting. The day continues to fill itself. Work that doesn't involve money feels easier than it should. Conversations drift without landing anywhere important. There is laughter at something that isn't especially funny. It passes. In the background, a quiet negotiation continues. Not about what to do, but about when to do it. Later feels safer than now. Later always has. Evening approaches without ceremony. The light fades again, this time in the opposite direction. Shadows lengthen, then dissolve. The room looks different, but familiar enough to be trusted. Dinner is made from what is already there. There is a quick inventory of ingredients, performed without writing anything down. Enough is found. Enough usually is. The number waits. It has been waiting all day. It will wait through dinner. It will wait through the dishes, through the brief sitting on the couch where nothing is really watched. It has no reason to hurry. There is a sense that checking the balance would mark the day, that it would close something, that once it is seen, there would be a before and an after, and the day would have to choose which side it belongs to. So the day is kept open, unmarked. As long as the balance remains unseen, the day is still flexible. It can still end without definition. Night arrives in pieces. The room darkens. Lights are turned on one by one, each one creating a smaller space. The phone is picked up again, almost automatically. Messages are checked, nothing urgent. The balance app sits where it always sits, unchanged, patient. There is a familiar tightness in the chest, not sharp enough to be pain, not clear enough to be fear. It's something in between, something that has learned to exist without asking for attention. Avoiding has become efficient. It doesn't require much energy anymore. It happens before thought. It happens in the small decisions that don't feel like decisions at all. The balance is imagined again, briefly, not as a number, but as a condition, a state of things that exists, whether it is acknowledged or not. It presses lightly against the edges of the evening. A choice presents itself quietly, not framed as a choice, but as an opening. The app could be opened now. There is time. There is privacy. Nothing would interrupt. Instead, the phone is set down. The room is adjusted. A blanket is pulled closer, though the temperature hasn't changed. The moment passes without being named. There is a thought that tomorrow might be better. Not because anything will change, but because tomorrow has not yet accumulated its own weight. Tomorrow still feels theoretical. The balance remains untouched. It does not react. It does not punish. It simply stays where it is, holding its place. Sleep approaches gradually. The body begins to shut things down in an order it has practiced. Lights are turned off. Doors are checked. The phone is plugged in, face down, like it was in the morning. In the dark, the number becomes less specific. It softens at the edges. It becomes a general sense rather than a detail. This makes it easier to lie still. There is a brief awareness just before sleep that avoiding has worked in a way. The day has passed without confrontation. Nothing collapsed. Nothing demanded to be fixed. At the same time, nothing has moved. The balance is still there, unchanged by being ignored. It will be there when the screen lights up again. Sleep takes over without resolving anything. The day ends without being marked. The number remains unseen, waiting in the same place it started, ready for another morning that hasn't decided what it will look at first.